Good morning everybody, welcome to Carnage and Crafts TV. I'm Laura. We have Bunny next door as well. We are super excited to bring you this show today. Now I'm going to just jump in and tell you 25% of the stock has already gone. This is the delightful card shape. Now this is the expansion pack on our beautiful bundles. So you might recognize them from the delightful DLs that we had, which were super popular. They sold out. They were extremely popular, and obviously Nick and the team have redesigned these. Now you've got different shapes in here as well, which I love. So you've got the circle, the square and the rectangle. You've got the floral patterns in there as well, but you've also got the decoupage pieces as well, so you can add more dimension onto these or change some of the shapes if you wish. But there's lots of different ways of using these. If you do want to grab these, they are item number 250814. You've got the QR code there as well that you can scan. Now you can see it is on a show price for you. It is $59.99, so you are going to qualify for your free P&P with that, but the price is going to go back up at midnight tonight. So if you want to grab it while it's at that lower price, you'll still get your free P&P. So if you need any of our glue, you need some more paper, you know, take advantage of that free P&P there. Now I am going to jump in and show you some of the design team samples, because so you can see some different ways, some different designs that you can bring these cards together. So you can see how they come in. Look at the detail that you get there. So you can see how pretty these look. You can add in some of the decoupage as well from the artwork from the flowers. So you can see there. So exactly the same on this one. You can see decoupage in white, but then this one, they've actually used the decoupage from the florals to bring in there. How pretty does that look? Then let's grab the daffodils. So you've got your tulips there in the circle, and then you have the daffodils in the square, and you can change these around as well. So you could have the daffodils on the bottom if you wanted to. You've got the matte and layers on this part here, so you could do them so it cuts into the card. You could have it so it mattes and layers up like that. You can see there's lots of different ways. Even cutting the daffodils out like in different colours and adding them on really adds another dimension onto that. Like look at this one. So instead of having that part space, doubling up on the flowers, and then you could do a whole panel like that, which just looks so pretty in white. They look absolutely stunning. So you can see there how detailed these are. And then I'm going to grab this one then. So this now is the rectangle, which is the Gerbera. So you can see that lovely size on these as well. They're going to be great for all different style cards. And then I have one here, look, by Janine, where she's actually used it with, so this one here you might recognize from the delightful DLs, and then you can see how she's used it with this. Do you know, like that? It doesn't look like a book. You could make a little memory book or like a little photo book with them, but so you can see it using them together with that one. And then I've got another one here using the same one, so you can see different styles. So did this one, so you can see how that one comes together. So pretty, lovely size in them as well. And as I'm going through these samples, you'll see that the design team have used them in so many different ways that they all look incredibly different. I mean, look at that. So this, when you think of the detail that you have in these dies, but then this one is taking away that main focal point of the flower. So this is the circle, this is the tulip one, and then all you're using is the mats and layers, and you're actually leaving out that tulip design. Looks absolutely incredible. And then I've just got one more by Sue. How pretty is that? And all of the artwork, so like the florals and everything you can see there, are from the Beautiful Bundles collection. So this is an expansion pack on that. So all the artwork you can see is from that collection, which we do have a show with too. So if you do want to watch that, maybe you missed it the first time round, or you just want a refresher, we will be looking at that at 2 o'clock. Right, let's go through the boards. You can see eggs. Where are we going? The mat is I'm like trying to push the mat and it's like, no, I'm not moving. Right, so we'll start off with the Gerbera one. So this is your rectangle style one. Now you can see you do have that lovely Gerbera pattern on both sides, and then you have this panel in the center that you could decorate, you could put a sentiment. I love how quick and easy these cards could be. You could easily do your card base, your mat, your layer. You've got that lovely detailed layer on there. Cut your mats and layers there, pop a sentiment on, and that could be your card absolutely complete, and it looks so detailed and so pretty. You do have the decoupage of the florals as well, so you can really build them up and make them look really 3D. Then we go on to the Daffodil. You know, I think it goes without saying that this one's probably my favourite. This one is the square. Again, you've got those lovely mats to go there. So you could double this one round like the card I showed you if you wanted to have them on both sides. But you have, it's just such a lovely shape. It's something that I would not try and cut something with an angle or anything like this myself, because I know I wouldn't get it right. And even if I did it once, I certainly wouldn't try and get mats and layers to go on top of it. They just look so effective, especially if you're somebody that struggles sometimes with putting things together. If you like that more clean and simple look of a card, but sometimes you struggle with, oh, it looks too empty, it looks too basic. All you need to really concentrate on is this part of the card. Everything is done for you. You can just put any of your artworks, any of your dies on there, and that could be your card complete. Even just a sentiment on there, because they do look so incredibly detailed. You've got all of the detail cut lines within the details of the flower, so they do look amazing. And different colour cardstock as well that you cut these from, they are going to look completely different. And then you've got the circle one, which is the tulip, which I think looks so pretty. I love that this is kind of just at that angle. It looks so different. You've got your decoupage tulip heads there to build those up if you want to as well. And just to show you again, look, you can see all these little white lines are the cut details that you have in the die. So you can see how detailed they are. So incredibly pretty. Really easy to use. I'm just going to move them there, and then let's grab my demo. So I'm going to start off with the Gerbera one. Now I'm going to cut this out before I do anything, so you guys can see exactly how easy this is to cut out. So I'm going to grab the Gerbera one, and we're going to cut out the detail part of this, so I can show you that when you cut these out, so you can see that all that detail is on there and the aperture is in there for you. So you don't need to try and worry about lining anything up at all. You can do a couple of passes of your machine. Obviously, if you've got an A4 machine, you can do a few passes on here, because you could have this one here, you could have the card base there, run that through, and then you're going to do your mat and layer on the next one, and you've got your complete card. So you don't need to go in and cut multiple times with this. If, you know, obviously it depends what colour cardstock and things you're going to use, but you could quite easily do a couple of passes, and then you could have your card complete. Now I'm going to put that through, so that cuts out for us. You can see how easy these will cut out, and you do get that incredible detail in there. Now, one thing I like about these, even though you know, they are Tulip, Daffodil and Gerberas. To me, so I'm sure you know by now, I'm not the best at naming my flowers. So for me, I look at these as really nice flowered backgrounds. I've put that a bit too close to the edge, but it's fine, I can cut it. So for me, I would absolutely use these for all year round. I would use them for Christmas cards. I would use them for maybe christening cards. Definitely like wedding cards and things like that as well. So if I just cut this little bit out, don't put it right up against your machine. But you can see now I've got a few little bits there that just need to pop out. But you can see how detailed that cuts out. So you can see all of that detail in the flowers, but you don't have to go in and worry about where that placement is. That's all in that die for you. So one pass and you have a panel like this. Now in this is Blush Natural. I can imagine putting that with reds and golds and using it for Christmas, or white and golds. So you could absolutely get away with using them all year round, just depending on the cardstock that you place with them. You can use them in different ways. Now the other thing with these as well is you do have little snip lines you can see running through. So if you wanted to, you could even go in and snip these. So I'm not fussy cutting now. All I'm doing is just following that line. So I've done a couple of little snips. And then you could use this as an aperture style instead. So last one. Oh no, I've got one more. Oh no, I've got one there. So if I cut that little bit, so you could now pull that out. So you could use it like that as well. So you could have that onto a card. So you could have your mat of your card there and you could place that on it, and then you've got that aperture in the center. And then what you could do from there is you use the dies that go in there and you could cut into the cardstock. So you could have that almost like a window into your card if you wanted to. So there's lots of different ways that you can use these. They're kind of the ones that you cut into and you use it in its basic way, and then you start cutting into it again, and then you think of a different way of using it. So I've got one that I've cut out already, and then I've got two here. Now I'm going to stick these two together because I'm going to use this as my base. So this is going to be my full card, okay? So we're going to glue these together. My glue was a bit excited there. So let's put that on there. So I'm using the everyday glue. We do have this on the website. Like I said, if you have got, if you were getting this kit, you are in that free P&P mark. So make the most of your free P&P. If you need to add in any of our pro print, any glue, anything at all, then add it in. Well, you've got that free P&P on there, or pin flare, anything at all. So I'm going to glue that there now. So I'm gluing these two together because I'm going to use this as my card base, and you've got that lovely cut detail there. I just need this part to be a little bit stronger, so that's why I'm using two pieces of cardstock. Okay, now when I started doing this, so I was going to put that there and glue that there, and obviously that was going to be my card, but then I thought, actually, if I flip that round and glue that one, no, if I turn that there and glue this one on there, then you kind of get the pattern from the back. So it's like a zigzag, so it looked like a cross, like a kiss. So I thought, oh, actually, we're going to do that. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to glue this one onto there. So I'm just gluing the top, and make sure you go over those floral parts because you do need to glue this bit in as well. So we'll glue that on there like that. So that is going to give us our card base. So you can see still looks really pretty on either end, but you've got that pattern now coming through. So I'm going to just leave that there while we glue the rest on. So I've got my mason layers, so I've cut these out. These are the perfect papers from Beautiful Bundles, so I've used them, and I've got some of the florals from Beautiful Bundles as well. Now these come in a vase. Is there one here that I can show you? Yes. So the flowers come in the vase with the books, and these are the flowers. So this is what I'm using. So all I've done is I've just cut it away from the vase, and then I've cut them in half. Well, almost in half. You can see I've cut down there. Okay, so I always say, with carnation, you get so much detail in. Never be afraid to cut into your dies, because you can do so much more with them when you cut into the dies. They give you so much more, and especially if you print them with the double-sided vignettes as well, because then you've got the option of flipping them as well. Now this is going to sit on there, and I am going to decorate the sides. Okay, so this is going to go, just going to give this a little bit of shape, and let's get some pin fur, and we're going to pop this one there like that, and then that bit, so you can see that is what I've cut away, is going to go there like that, just to fill that part. So I'll just give this a little bit of shape, and then that is going to go there, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing now on the other side. So this is going to go there. So I'll flip this round. So like I said, the advantage of having your mirrored vignettes, and if you are going to print and use your mirrored vignettes, use the 120 GSM, because you're going to glue those, you're going to glue that sheet together, so your card and your die cut is going to end up being 220. So don't go in with a heavy cardstock, because bear in mind that you are going to be folding it in on itself. That's going to go there like that, which kind of looks a bit messy at the minute, but let's add some tape onto this mat. So these are the mats now that are going to fill that center pattern for you. So going in with the largest one first, and then this is going to just sit on there like that. So that's covered those little bits now where you can see where I've cut into the flower, and then we'll put some tape on here. So you've got your 3 mats that will fit onto this part, and then we can add these on. So I've gone in with the dark pink from the Perfect Papers, then I've gone in with the lighter pink next, so that's going to sit on there like that, and then we'll glue this bit in. So then I've gone in with white next, so that's just going to sit there like that. So you can see now that already just looks so pretty. You can really see the detail in the card. And then I'm going to grab my sentiments. You've got Sent with a Smile, and then I'm just going to stick this on here quick. So I've got Sent with a Smile. This is the same Perfect Papers that I've used in the Massonia, so everything's coordinated. So you've got that there. Such a pretty one. And then I'm going to pop that in the middle. So I'll pop this in the middle there. And then I've got a couple of, now these are the decoupage bits that will obviously go onto the flowers. Now these will also fit on the decoupage of the actual car base itself. So you've got different options of where you want to put them. So the one I showed you with the tulip is the same. So you can mix and match the decoupage pieces up if you want and add those in. So you've got different options with these. So I'm just going to stick a couple of these in just to add in a bit more height onto these, and then we'll go on to the next one. So I can just add that in. Now I like to add, if I'm adding flowers, I like it when the flower kind of comes over the matting layer a little bit. I just think it just brings it together a little bit more. So that's why I'm just leaving those go over those mats ever so slightly, so they'll just add in a little bit more onto the card. There you go, we'll leave it like that. So now if I lift that up, oh there, so you can really see the detail. It just brings them all together, and like I said, you can do such beautiful, clean and simple looking cards with these, because that base is going to be so incredibly detailed. You can go in with as much or as little as you want on top, and they just look so pretty. They just look, I think you can use them all year round as well. I think different colours, they will work all year round. Yeah, Bunny's just said baby cards. They'd be perfect for baby cards, wouldn't they? Really pretty. Right, so you can see this one is the Gerbera, and you're also going to get in there the tulip and the daffodil as well. So you've got plenty of choice in there, lots of different options and lots of different ways that you can mix and match these up as well. So you've got a wide variety of card shapes that you could do with these. Now I am going to use the tulip one for this. So I've got the circle. Now obviously I've already cut this out. Now when I cut this out, I folded a sheet of cardstock in half, so you can see I've got that fold on the top, and then I've just cut a little bit of the bottom of the back off just to make sure that stands up. Okay, so that's all I've done so far. Now I'm going to put that there. I'm just going to move this up so you can see, so I know that's my base. Right, so we're going to go in with the card base. So I've cut the card base out, and then I've cut it out again in the pink, because obviously I want to cover that little fold line now. So we're going to go in with some pink, again from the Beautiful Bundles Perfect Papers. That's going to sit on there. Now that's covered that little fold mark for us. So we've got our card base. And then I'm going to go in with some white cardstock. Oh, we've had a message off Pearl saying good morning. Morning, Pearl. And Pearl is saying they look very useful for quick cards. These would be perfect if you needed a quick card. A couple of runs, well, like I said, 2, maybe 3, depending on what colours you're using, runs of your die cutting machine, and you'd have a card ready to go. Oh, Linda's message as well saying good morning. Morning, Linda. Susanna's message saying good morning. Morning, Suzanne. And Pearl has also asked if there's artwork for this collection. There isn't artwork for this collection because they are just the frames. So like we cut out, they are the frames. So they've been designed for like your perfect papers, for your cardstock, for the back of your card. But in saying that, if you did want to use like the flowers like I showed you from the beautiful bundles, so like the flowers will go on top, then you could download those. But obviously if you want to cut the flowers out, then you'd need the beautiful bundles. So just no, there isn't artwork for these. No specific artwork anyway. Oh, Christine Bell has messaged in as well saying these look amazing. They are. And then who was it? Linda has messaged asking where the sentiment I used was from. Oh, Linda, why have you done this to me? I want to say it was, but now I'm thinking about it. I don't know if there was sentiments in Beautiful Bundles. Bunny's going to find out for us. Yeah. Was it from Beautiful Bundles? Bunny's going to check for us. She will let us know, so I'll get right back to you. Now, we are using the Tulip one, so you can see I've cut this out. Now, for this one, I wanted to do something a bit different, just to show you different ways and different styles that you can use this. Now, I've cut this out in white, because obviously we're going to stick with the pink and white, but this time I've used Elevate. Okay, so you can see it on my Elevate, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, shall I leave it in? Shall I leave the detail bits in? Or pull them out? What do we think, Bunny? She's hunting, I think. I think we should leave it. I don't know. I was going to leave it in, and now I've decided to leave it in. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Should we take it out? Right, let's carefully. So whenever I do this and I leave the detail in, I just very carefully peel the back off to make sure that I don't pull any of those little bits out, like that. And then that is going to go on there. There you go. So you can see now you've got that elevated layer, but you've got, look how detailed that looks. So obviously I've done it now where I've left that detail part in. Now you could equally pop them out and you're still going to get that really detailed elevated layer with that. So another option of how you put that together. Oh, and Bunny has just told me we're now at 30% of the stock of this has gone. Right, now let's decorate this bit. Now, so the same one I used just now, the Gerberas from the beautiful bundle, which is coming up later. We're going to use this, and I've cut the flowers away. So this was probably the one that I used in the last demo where I used just the flowers. Now this time I thought would be cute is we're going to pop the teddy in the bowl. So he looks as if he's like sat in the bowl, which I thought looked really cute. So we're going to do that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on him, and I've cut his arm. So I've just cut the little line there holding his arm in, because I wanted his arm to like just sit over the bowl, so as if he's just like sitting there like that. And then you can see his feet kind of just stick out a little bit. So I'm just going to cut those bits that you can see away. So he looks as if he's in there. Oh, Joys of Summer. So who was asking? Linda. Linda asked where the scent with the smile, it's from Joys of Summer. There you go. We got there. Bunny found it. She found it. Right, so he is going to sit there. So we're going to pop him there like that. So let's add a bit of glue on him. So that's going to go there like that. And then our flowers. So these could be now the ones that you've already cut away. We're going to add these on the side as well. So we're going to just add them there like that. And then this one's going to go for there. And then I've got my sentiment. Bunny will tell you straight away where this sentiment's from. Oh, I've said that. Petals and threads, it is. I do like these sentiments. I just find them really easy to use. Really easy to fit in, because the sentiment is always the last thing that goes on my card, unless somebody's asked me for it, like a specific card, like a 21st birthday or a farewell card or something really specific, then the sentiment is always the last thing that I think about. So we're going to pop that there like that, and that it just brings everything together, just the flow of the card. So we've now made that with the tulip. So this time we've used the circle card shape. So this is the delightful tulip one. And you can see using elevate in there as well, so you can really add that detail. And I think it's so nice to show as well, even using the elevate, look how detailed the tulips are. You can still see all of that detail in there. So you've got lots of different options with these, and you can see they're just using that as your base, matte layers, and then I've used 3 dies there, because I've used the teddy, the flowers and the book, that's 1 die, and then I've used a sentiment, and they look so pretty, really detailed, and you can see how easy they do come together. So you can be really nice, clean, simple cards, or go in and add in a lot more if you wish. Now, Bunny did just tell me that 30% of the stock of these have gone. So if you do want to grab them while they are still there. It is on that show price for you. I can't remember which one we did. Oh, right, okay. Which one? Was it that one? I think it was that one we did. Right, I'm hoping this is a different... Yeah, we didn't see that one, did we? No. So, yeah, so 30% of the stock has gone. So like I said, it is going to go back up at full price at midnight tonight. So if you want to grab them before the price goes back up, then don't miss out on that price. Oh, yeah. So Joanne has she messaged in? Oh, so Joanne has messaged in saying that she ordered hers at 1 minute past midnight because the beautiful delightful DLs sold out last time, and she didn't want to miss out. So she ordered at 1 minute past midnight last night. That's dedication. They did. The delightful DLs, they did sell out really quick last time. And then we also have, now this one, I think it just goes to show you, Pam did this one. And if I grab the one that we did in the first demo, just to show you, that is the exact same die. So you can see how Pam has used that center part there for the card, and then you could go from something like that to that. So you can really mix and match these up. You don't have to go in with all of the dies. And then again, from that one to that one, exactly the same die. that has been used, but you can see how you can mix them up. And don't forget as well about those decoupage pieces, because you do have them in the die as well, so you could add even more layers in there by popping those on to your florals too. Then we've got one there by Pam. You can see they're bringing in the white and that lovely green colour, looks so pretty. And then we've got one here by Sue. That looks so pretty. And you can see as well, if I grab this one by Janine, that you can change them as well. So you don't have to have them in the top corner. You don't have to, you can move them around. So there's no kind of right or wrong way of which way round you want them to be. And that, to me, could be a sympathy card. You know, that just that in white with that little bit of colour in the back there. It just makes, it still pops off the page, doesn't it? It still looks so pretty. Then I've got another one there by Janine, using those tulips, so from the circle. And then look at this one by Barbara. How pretty is that? So you've got that layer, yeah, as a little tuck in. Fanny just said that would be so nice as a wedding card. I just thought like an invite or something as well, you know, because you've got that like tucked in. It would look so pretty as like an invitation to a party or wedding, engagement party. And then we've got one there by Vera. And then, oh, look at this one. Who did this? I'm going to guess Kat did this one because there's no name on it. I don't know. And it is. And then we've got one then by Barbara as well. Look at that. They're so pretty. I love how they look so effective, but you know, all we've done is just do a few passes of a die cutting machine. The dies do all the work for us, so it does make everything so much easier for us to just run through and do some die cutting. So you can see that we've got our delightful card base collection. It's item number 250814. So you can see there the 3 card shapes that you were going to guess. You've got your card bases in there, you've got your mats and layers, you've got the detail frames with your flowers, you've got your daffodil, your tulips and your gerberas. Then you've got the mats and layers to go in the center of those too. Now they could be mats and layers, you could turn them into apertures. The choice is absolutely yours. And then you've also got the decoupage heads of the flowers as well, so you could build them up and add some real dimension and detail into the cards. We're going to just go through the boards quickly so you can see exactly what each one looks like. So you've got your Gerbera to start off with, so this is the more rectangle shape. Now you've got your card base, you've got your mat, your layer, then you've got your frame detail, which is the one that has the flowers on. Then you've got your mat layer and another layer there to go on that centerpiece. Now, like I've showed you with the design team cards, some of them have used just this piece, some of them have used just that bit, and don't be afraid to go into them like we did just now. You know, you can cut this bit out if you want, so you could have it going that way. So that you have got different options with these, okay? So you don't have to have them in one design. You could use that center die and cut into the card so to have like a window going in there. You could make that bit a shaker card if you wanted to. So or you could just cut it out of this, pop it onto a card, and that's your card done. So you've got so much different options of what you want to do with these. Then we've got the daffodil next. So this is your more of a square design. Again, you've got your base, your mats and layers, you've got this bit. Now, we showed you a couple of different cards with this one. So you could have the daffodils in this corner, you could have them in that corner. There's no right or wrong way, I'd say, of how you put these together. You can mix them up and you've got your daffodil heads there too. And then you've got the tulip, so you can see there. I love the shape on that. It makes me think of like a stained glass window. So you could cut that out, cut the back layer in acetate, cut this bit out in black, And then on the back of the acetate, colour in with your alcohol pens, and you'd have those blocked colours then, so it'd look like a stained glass window. You've got that centerpiece as well, plus the floral heads there too. So there's so much in here that you can build up. Now this one we are going to go daffodils. So we've done one of each. Right, what one is this one? Right, let's do this base first so I know what I'm doing. Right, now obviously I wanted to try and show you different ways of using this. So we're going to start off with, so you're going to start with the outside die first. So this is going to essentially be your card base. Okay, so that, and we're using the Perfect Papers again from the Beautiful Bundles collection, which me and Bunny did hunt for just now before I started the show because I wanted to cut them out. And if me and Bunny are right, there's only one pack of that left. We couldn't find this, so I might be totally wrong, but we had a look and we could only find one pack. So if you were looking at these and thinking, oh, I'll wait and see them in the 2 o'clock show, you might just want to go on the website and have a look at them and decide while you're ordering this, because it might not be there. Because me and Bunny could only find one. So yeah, it could just be me and Bunny just being, you know, looking at something that's right in front of our face, but we can't actually see it. But right, so we've done card base, we've done our mat, and then we're going in with our next layer. Okay, so all from the Beautiful Bundles. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add the daffodil layer next. So you can see I've cut it out in the same colour. And when you do this, it almost gives you like a faux embossed effect. Looks really, really pretty. Now I'm going to add glue on here, and then I'm just quickly going to just dab along the edge of there, and then that is just going to sit on there like that. Get the glue off my hand, or I will have sticky fingerprints everywhere. Right, so now for me, obviously if I was going to use that as a card base now, I'd stick another piece of card there on the back so that stands there. But if you wanted quick, clean and simple but detailed cards, or if you were doing a craft, do you know, the last couple of weeks, I think it's because it's been the summer holidays, I've seen so many posts of people posting like their craft stalls with cards that they sell. So if you are somebody that does that they look so effective, but they will take you so little time. You could batch make these out so quick and easy. You could easily just pop a sentiment in the center of that and your card could be complete. Just as quick and easy as that. Now, obviously, I wanted to show you different ways of using this. So that back card base that we cut out first, I've cut another one out. Okay, so you can see that's the bigger layer. And then I've just scored here and in the center. So scored across and then scored just under an inch off the top of there. So this bit now, we're going to glue that on there. So that's why I did all those matte layers first, because otherwise I would have completely forgot. I'd have done the card base first and then I wouldn't have fitted the matte layers in. So let's, yeah, that'll be fine. Right, so we've glued that on, and then our next bit then exactly the same size, and then that's going to stick on there. So now you're only going to glue this bottom half of the card. Okay, so that is just going to sit on there like that. So we're essentially kind of turning this now into more of a diamond shape than the square, because we're doing it on the wonk. Okay, so that is going to sit there like that. So we're going to go in now with our next layer. So let's add some foam tape onto here. So I've got this lovely green from the Perfect Papers again. all the cardstock I'm using is from the Perfect Papers. Oh, Joan has messaged in saying hello from Australia. Oh my gosh, what time would it be there? I was going to say good morning from the UK, but I don't even know if it would be morning. Or would it be in the middle of the night? Joan, if you're still watching, message us back in and tell us what time it is with you. Oh, Janine has messaged in saying good morning to me and Bunny. Good morning, Janine. Oh, and Margaret has messaged in as well saying, hi from Durham, and her order is in. Good morning and congratulations on your order. Oh, Pam has messaged as well saying good morning. Morning, Pam. We have got quite a few messages this morning. Everybody's up and ready for some lovely crafty parcels to come, I think. Right, now this one, we're going to pop this. So this is going to sit up like that. So I want this to match the bottom one. So I'm going to pop that like that so it kind of looks the same. Okay, so I've now turned this again. So essentially it looks like the daffodils are just on the top. So let's, no, I'm going to tape it. Let's tape it so we get some height. Now I'm going to tape this side. Now if I was doing this in the house, what I would do is get some of your clean and simple foam pads, those small ones, because they're going to be perfect for this, and I would stick a few of those on them flower heads so that when you put that on there, you've got those foam pads there just supporting those heads, so this layer stays up. Just for speed, okay, I'm just going to pop a little bit of pin flare under there, but because it's a layer, I try and avoid using pin flare because I'm too impatient to wait for it to set. I want to put things on now, so I know if I put pin flare on it, I'm going to end up squishing it back down. But just for speed, for now, I'll do it. But yeah, if I was at home, just grab your foam pads from your clean and simple kit and stick some of them on there, because you only really need them there just to support them so they don't go down. So this is going to sit now on there like that, so you can see, look how layered they are. And if I just lift that before I touch it, so I squish it, you can see, look, just adding that layer a little bit higher, you can see those shadows in there. It just looks so pretty. So now we need to, let's open this. So we're going to pop the layers to go over here. These are going to go on there, and obviously I'm going to add tape onto these because this is going to be my stopper then for the top part of the card. So add some tape on there. Do I need two? No, one is fine. So let's add this in. So I've done the next layer, so you can see now, and the same green in the Perfect Paper, so everything coordinates nicely. That is going to sit there, and then this layer is going to go on top. So I'm going to just glue this layer down. Oh, Gloria has messaged in. Morning, Gloria, saying that she cannot wait for hers to arrive. It's such a beautiful set. It really is. I think you're going to have lots of fun when this arrives. It's really, really pretty. It's so nice as well when you get something you don't have to think about. You can just, and do you know what's nice as well about them being card bases? Because I think we've all, well, I do it. When you think, oh, do you know what, I'm going to just sit, I'm going to go to my craft room, I'm just going to escape for an hour. And then you sit there and you think, oh, actually, I don't know what to make. And you get bits and pieces out and you pull dies out and you sit there and you look at them and you say, oh, I just don't know what to do. And for me, if I start cutting something, then that'll make me think of what I'm going to do. So having something like this, you could just sit there, even if you go into like your craft room and you think, oh, I don't know what to do, I've lost my mojo, you could happily sit there, cut a couple of these out and just think, I'm just going to cut them out and they're there for when I need them. And I bet you that by the time you've cut a couple out, you will start thinking, oh, do you know what would look really nice on there if I add in this? Or if I turn it this way and I add this dye in, that would look really nice. And then you'll be crafting then. You'll have completely got your mojo back and you'll have come out and you'll be like, oh, I've just made 3 or 4 cards. Now, I'm going to use Scent with Happiness, which is from where, Bonnie? Yes, it's from Petals and Threads. And then I'm using the flowers. Now, these, again, they come in a vase like all the flowers do in the Beautiful bundle. So you can see there, this is the ones I'm using. All I've done is I've just snipped them away from the vase because I'm going to have these going across like that. Okay, so I wanted to change the style of these completely. So I'm going to add some glue there and some pamphlet on here because I'm not quite sure where these are going to sit a minute. And then let's add some pamphlet on our sentiment. And there, that is going to sit in the middle of that like that. So now you could absolutely do that as a card completely on its own. So you could have, if I straighten that up a bit, so you could have it as a card like that. Even on the angle, actually, it looks really pretty just like that, doesn't it? So you could have it like that, or obviously if you did it like we have, then it's going to sit up just like that. And you've still got all of that detail there on the bottom as well. But then you've got that on the bottom. And then we've essentially changed that now to more of a diamond shape card. So there's so many different ways. Obviously you could do that exact same style now with the circle, and you could do that with the Gerbera as well. So we did one from everything. So you've got your daffodils, you've got your Gerberas, and you've got the tulips. So you've got one of each. So you can see using it like this, or using it just as your card base, mats and layers. We did go in with Elevate on that one, so you've got some of that cut out detail in there. Or then bringing it in like this, so you can make your steppers with it. So you're still using that card base to make the actual card. Or then this one is actually using the cut out detail, so that framework, to actually make the card base itself. But you can, each way I've done it, you can do with all of them as well, which is, you know, what gives you even more value for money, because you could mix this. So you could do this exact style with the 3 of them, or you could do this exact style with the 3 of them, or you could do this with the 3 of them, and they're still going to look so different, even though you're using the same dye, but you're doing the same thing with each one, but it's still going to look completely different in each one, which is amazing. Okay, so we are at the end of our first show for this morning. We are going to be back though at 12, and we're going to come back with some more of the delightful card shape demos and share some more samples for you. And then we're also going to be back at 2 with Beautiful Bundles. So that's where some of the artwork that you've seen in these shows have come from. You can always jump ahead and go and have a look at Beautiful Bundles on the website if you want to. But hopefully you'll go off, grab a cup of tea and come back and meet us at 12. Bye.